Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String again. Hopefully you're not bored of me already. Today's tutorial, racket restringing tutorial, will be on a Wilson Shift. I think we have done another one previously, but this is the Wilson Shift Pro. It's 15 grams heavier. Has a 1820 stringing pattern as to the other one, the lighter version, which is 1620. So this is a different stringing pattern altogether. And here we go, 55 pounds of tension with a multi-filament string, Pro String Pure multi-filament to be exact. We've got 8 holes. Oh wow. Never seen this before. Okay, so this is literally, I'm doing this live. I haven't checked this before commencing, but there is 10 holes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, very interesting. Okay, very simple. We just look at where the loops are going. The loop is going around the bottom here, which therefore means you need to come up and down. Okay, very interesting. So this is a 99 square inch racket, as is the other one, but it's just the stringing pattern that changes significantly. We've got more strings. Okay, I'm just going to double check that I'm not. So yeah, 1820 exactly. 315 grams, 11.1 ounces. Okay, very interesting. Makes a good video. Right, so we've got 18 strings to each, 18 strings in total, mains, vertical strings, which means 18 divided by 2 sides, 9 strings. We've got 1 main in each side already, so that means we need to count 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It seems like a very tight stringing pattern. Maybe more than normal even. But anyway, that's fine. So I'm just going to measure the rest of the string, run the string through my hands, fingers, find the end that I've measured, and there's my other side for measurement purposes. And now we're just going to simply clamp at the bottom, as we always do. If we have 8 holes or 10 holes at the bottom, 4 loops or 5 loops. Very interesting. Right, guys, client wants 55 pounds of tension. That's what we're going for. Yeah, this is very, it's a very tight. At least the first few are quite tight, and I can feel that because very rarely on a tennis racket, you know, that the fixture actually is pretty much touching the grommets. I had to give it a little extra twist for it to just pop into place where it needs to go. All good though. Right, as always, guys, 3 strings to each side. I'm kind of glad this racket's coming now. Now I can show you guys what the dealio is on this one. But always stringing with compensating each side, 3 strings to each side, and using that theory all the way through our mains. And now 3 to the other side, with a very close, much closer than normal, I have to say. At least the first 6 to 8 strings, and then it starts opening up a bit, from what I can see. Just looking 3 steps ahead, without trying to confuse you guys, of course. Just on another little note, Simona Halep against Paula Badosa. Simona Halep is back after her maybe even mistaken sanction or suspension, which was meant to be 4 years. It's been cut short by 2.5. I didn't watch the match, but I saw she won the first set 6-1. I take my hat off to her for fighting her corner against all those governing bodies that had sanctioned her or suspended her. Good for her. Prove these people wrong sometimes is humbling for them as well. And they need to be shown that they're not the most powerful people in the world always. They don't have the last word, which is, this obviously, the situation is very rare. But hat off to her, and unlucky she didn't win yesterday. Definitely rooting for her after everything she's been through. Guys, 6 main string to one side, so the first 6 are quite close together, I have to say. So don't expect much power or control out of this racket. If you're looking for more power control out of this type of racket, then please down or lower your tension ever so slightly. Don't know why this is fraying already on me, but anyway, it's done now. 6. Guys, as you can see, I never ever pull a string over the top of the frame, yeah? What that does is pull the frame down and move the racket effectively on the mounting system. So always pull under the frame, guys, under the frame, never over, never over. Oh yeah, I'm expecting somebody at 10, aren't I? Oops. Trying to squeeze these videos in between clients calling, clients showing up to pick up their rackets, all sorts. But I'm sure he'll just ring the bell. So if I disappear for a moment, guys, I apologize in advance. So this racket had been strung recently with alu power, not by us. Client has now changed to multi-filament for whichever the reason. I mean, you better hit a good ball and be a chronic string breaker if you're using a polyester of this stringing pattern. 99 square inch, as I mentioned before, I believe. Another cloudy day, unfortunately, here in London. We are really struggling sun-wise. Seeing that sun is a rare scene, unfortunately, recently. We see it for a moment or two, and then, or an hour or so, or two, if we're lucky. We're not really even getting that. Last time we saw the sun properly was on the weekend, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Changes everyone's mood, I have to say. Right, 3 more to this side. Finishing up our mains, guys. Don't forget to up the tension, which I've accidentally done now. Now we up the tension. Our last main before tying off a finishing knot. We are doing 4 knots, guys, which I always do on tennis rackets, unless it's a very cheap frame and the grommets don't really permit because of just cheaper rackets. I mean, like the bottom tier rackets are very difficult to do 4 knots sometimes because of their lack of quality in the grommets and stuff. It's very hard to find openings. So, but all the kind of good rackets, which are mainly the ones we receive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 full lengths of the tennis racket from the top of the head to the bottom of the grip. Cut yourself some slack as well. Don't pull it super tight because that will affect your measurements. Just a relaxed 8. Right, Parnell knot, starting knot. I think we're good to start anywhere. Yeah, you can start this. You can start these cross strings on any part of the racket. Client is approaching. So this string we are using is 125 millimeter, 17 gauge. Wow. If you're starting out, it's not a racket you want to encounter from the get-go. I mean, it's not that difficult in my opinion, but having those main strings so close together on those first 6 will definitely challenge you probably. Pull nice and easy, guys. This string has a special outer coating, so I need to be super careful. I'm just going to use my awl because my hands are quite in a state right now. I've got, anyway, doesn't matter. Slowly. Taking my time. Some slight tangling there. Right guys, we're always going to string one ahead as usual, regardless of type of racket. Tennis, squash or badminton. Makes this next weave easier, especially on this racket if you're doing 18-20 in general, but this racket with the strings so close apart from those first 12, 6 on each side, it's definitely something. Check our camera, make sure we're still rolling. Yesterday I did a video, tried doing a video, or was it the day before? And looks like I was just talking to myself without recording. But anyway, it is what it is. So now I'm paranoid. Make sure my my rackets, my camera's rolling. Nothing more frustrating than thinking you're doing a video, then it turns out you're not. Don't know how that came about, but that's life. So now it's starting to get easier to pull on the cross strings. Guys, take your time. Make sure you move that hand up and down as much as possible. You want to avoid as much friction as you can between the strings, because you can leave, the strings can be damaged, leave markings on the strings. It would just look very unprofessional. I wonder how this racket plays. Anybody out there tried it? Leave us a little comment. I will start racket reviewing soon as well. I just only have so much time for so much. I've tried the Solinco Whiteout now. I've tried the Yonex Percept. I've tried the Yonex V-Core 98. All the diadems. I just got to get through these videos and then start taking some rackets to the court with me and just playing with them when I practice or whatever it might be, coaching even, which I don't do much of anymore. But yeah, I'm expecting someone to knock on that door or ring my bell any moment. Wow, I mean, I'm a quick weaver. I can weave that string pretty quick, but when it gets to this part here, it's like there aren't more rackets. I wouldn't say that really slow me down a little bit. As you guys can see, where you want to clamp your cross string is not against the grommet or the racket. You want a small separation of a few centimeters. You don't have to be super close. You don't want to be. Right. Yeah. I've really got to push through hard there. Like I said, if you're just starting out, don't string this racket. I mean, it's great for experience purpose. You can do this racket without too much headache. You're definitely on the right track, guys. Get rid of our excess knot. I've got the sniffles today, God. Oh, wow. And of course, as you progress through the racket, it never gets easier. If anything, it gets harder because the tension's starting to mount nicely, let's say, throughout the racket. Every string pulled, additional tension on the strings. I mean, even pushing the string up, I've got to make an effort. Wow. When I say pushing the string up, I mean this one here, which is normally just a piece of cake. But no, this racket, whew. There it is. I'll be with you guys in a second. Guys, I am here, but I have to give the client some string. He's asking me if he wants to take some string away with him, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. That went on for much longer than expected. Client that's traveling to Nepal. So I had to give him some recommendations. He ended up only stringing 1 racket with me. He just wanted to string 2. And then it turns out he wanted a set of string just in case he breaks. He's not sure how long he's staying out there. Nepal, 2,500 meters above sea level, if I'm not mistaken. Very fast when you're playing at that kind of height. It already makes a difference when you're playing at 300-400 meters. So at 2,500 is just, you're talking serious speeds. I mean, like Colombia, for example, my brother played Davis Cup to Colombia 15 years ago. His first Davis Cup tie was 15 years ago as an 18-year-old boy or young man. Lost against Santiago Giraldo 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. Best of 5 sets. Now the whole Davis Cup system is very different to what it used to be. But he played at 3,000 meters in Bogota, Colombia, and that was very interesting. They play with, so you open a can of balls and they're actually already flat, so they're like pressureless. So you can literally squeeze the ball like if it was broken or flat or just old. Yeah, but they were new. You know, open the can, the felt's new and stuff. But supposedly the ball just flies. It's uncontrollable, it would seem. Brother plays, when I say Davis Cup, he was playing Tennis Canada. He's playing for Canada. He plays for Canada. Always has, pretty much since the age of 18. He changed the flag next to his name from Spanish to Canadian and has stuck to it since. Gave him more opportunities and still does. Too many good Spanish players in our era, even his. Despite being, I'm Nadal's age. He's actually 10 days older than me. But yeah. Not the best era you want to grow up in, with Federer, Nadal, Murray, Wawrinka. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah, this weave is definitely yeah. Interesting racket to string, very interesting. I'm surprised how wide the neck is. Well, it's not even that wide, it's a bit wider. But they've really come up with something different here, I've gotta say. Gotta give them credit for actually making something very different. Because a lot of times it's just something very, very minor and they launch a new, especially Wilson. Wilson are notorious for launching rackets constantly. Their marketing scheme is very different to Babolat. Head, for example, we launch, I think Head, yeah, every couple of years, even Yonex, but Wilson is very aggressive. I guess it works for them. I do get a lot of Wilsons and Babolat. I've got to say Wilson and Babolat are probably in tie. And then Head and Yonex. Probably see more Heads than Yonex. I've actually got ex-ATP top 100 James Ward rackets next to me, dropped off 4. There you go, guys, last cross. I have up to my oh dear, I've left my pliers downstairs. I've got a spare ones here. I'm cutting a set of string for this last client that just showed up. We'll just use these instead of going back downstairs. Excuse me. So again, upping your tension, guys, just a reminder. before you, on your last cross or main, upping the tension 15 to 20%. We're doing our Parnell knot as usual. And then through our first knot, I really should make a video just on the knot. There you go, guys. There you have it. 55 pounds of tension. Pro string pure multi-filament in 125. Oh, wow, that is tight. But just remember that tension's always going to drop a little bit as soon as you take that racket off the machine in the next few hours, days. There's only one way, which is unfortunately down. But there you have it. Just straightening up my strings a little bit. Not much to really straighten up here, I have to say, as always, which is a good sign. Oh. Guys, Wilson Shift. There you have it. Which is the 99 square inch Wilson Shift Pro. 315 grams, 99 square inch, 1820 stringing pattern. Very different here. I've never seen that before. 10 holes, 5 loops if you'd like. Watch out with that. Don't let it catch you out. Check your stringing patterns before you start. Guys, thanks for tuning in as always. Give us a like, a comment, something. Take care, guys. Happy stringing. Bye-bye.